Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fairweather Podcast. Your boy 2K Swap. I'm here with Mr. Alex Rodriguez. He is wearing an Allen Iverson. I'm assuming, yes, good job. He's wearing an Allen Iverson jersey, making good of his bet of his loss in the NFL pick that we did this season. So, week one, we got the greatest 76 of all time, Allen Iverson. Also, if you would have asked me 15 years ago who was the GOAT, I would have said Allen Iverson because I had no shame. I had no shame. But another GOAT that he's pointing to is Gisele Bündchen. Because if it wasn't for her, I heard reports, A-Rod, if it wasn't for her, if Tom Brady was single, that man will play till he's 50. It's that simple.
It is. It's really that simple, man. I think she's probably my favorite person on earth right now. So I was finding the best post I could find, but the one that they had at Sparkman's Wharf in Tampa this weekend was the best. So I had to put that one up there.
Are you gonna buy some what you call it? Like some what do models sell? Do they sell anything?
Bras, panties, man. I'll invest in stock, man. It's the happiest day of my life that wizard is finally retired.
So with Victoria's Secret, or she got her own line?
I'm sure she does, man. I don't know. I don't pay attention to her like that. She's a product of Brady, but if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be retired. So
just so y'all know, A-Rod runs the Jets Twitter page, and when he retired, the Jets tweeted, aka A-Rod tweeted this. This better be real.
I should have put that as a background.
Period. This better be real.
Yeah. Congrats, by the way.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But we all knew on Saturday. I mean, look, man, I don't know how y'all feel about what's his name, Schefter and all of them. Look, it's their job to report when they hear news. I think the whole world kind of knew after he did that last game against the Rams that it was a wrap. So I mean, I kind of, when I was already kind of drunk at Gasparilla on Saturday, I already knew it was done. And all these Buck fans try to convince me that, oh no, he coming back, and everyone's all sensitive and crying, and yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
kind of funny.
Let's jump into that. So let's go with the rundown real quick. So obviously we're kind of hitting on the major topic of our show, which is changes in the NFL. One being, I will say it right now once again for everybody to hear loud and clear, the greatest player of all time in the NFL, which we'll debate as well, is retiring. So that's usually we go right into the games, but I feel like this is a bigger impact on sports as a whole. So we'll discuss that. We'll discuss the whole Brian Flores suing the NFL debacle that's going on right now, and the excuse me, all the different ripple effects that's going to have. Then we'll get into that NFL playoff recap on the conference championship. We'll discuss if the Bengals are the real deal. We'll talk about the Chiefs implosion, giving Joe Burrow his props, and we'll basically just discuss both of those games. Then we'll go into NBA talk, injuries to two teams that were projected to go to the finals this year. The Lake Show is late to the show, so we'll discuss them. We'll discuss the Nets that are on a 5-game losing streak. Trade deadlines approaching. A lot of rumors are being thrown out there. KK's kind of happy about one that got thrown out today. We don't know if it's going to come to fruition. The Suns' hottest team Suns are like the most complete team in basketball right now, and we have to give them their roses right now. So we're going to talk about them and why they're so complete and so good. And then for our fun segment, 2 weeks ago, we gave you our potential lineups. They were almost perfect. All-star, yeah. So we're going to give you our reserves this week. So you can go ahead and
by the time you guys start listening to this, they'll either have been released or will be being released. So we're gonna try to first guess it ourselves.
Yeah, so we did pretty good last time, so I think we'll do pretty good this time too. But episode 54, we'll start it off. Changes in the NFL. Tom Brady,
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, the senior, the third, one of those two.
He's done. He's done.
I don't know. Listen, man. Look. He's been in the NFC for 2 years. Like, why do you still care? It's over.
In my city, though, man. I have to hear about him. I gotta hear Bucks fans. Bucks fans are acting like he's been here for 20. Like, if there's anything that you did on Saturday or was it Friday when the rumor came, it was Sunday when the rumor came out, you said stop acting like he's been here for 22 years. Okay.
I'll say exactly my what I said. Because the way Buck fans have been acting, you would think that we live in New England. Like he's been here for 2 decades and tormented teams for 2 decades here. I'm like, look, he has the same amount of Super Bowl rings as Brad Johnson. Like, what are y'all what are y'all crying about? He was only here for a cup of tea and some avocado margarita or whatever that she was drinking, avocado tequila, whatever. So all these, no offense, Buck fans. I know you guys, never seen this kind of success before live in person. Mind you, the Bolts are the best team in hockey. Well, the Florida Panthers got something to say about that this year. But right now, the reigning two-time champs, they've been doing well. The Rays have done a good job for the city of Tampa as well. Tom Brady was here for a cup of coffee and some avocado tequila, and they acting like he's been here for 22 years. I'm like, yo, calm down. The people who should be depressed, New England should be depressed, obviously. I think Tampa fans are more depressed because now they got to go back to the toilet and be fair weather fans again. The reason why this show exists is for the majority of you fair weather fans who, first of all, when this show first started in 2020, it was December 2020 when this show first started. I could only count 5 Buck fans on my hand, maybe. Now all of a sudden there's like 500. I don't know where the hell y'all came from, but y'all can go back to the basement where I used to be at and enjoy Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask or whatever.
Don't worry, they're already starting the Rodgers chants, the Wilson chants. I'm telling you, best we can do is Jimmy G for you, man.
Yeah, the best we can do is Jimmy G.
All right, so Tom Brady is finally retired. I mean, after seeing him kick my ass for 20 years in the AFC East, it's great. And the only, I guess, no, we'll finish up with that when we ended up with Brady. But the impact he had on the NFL and sports, it's major because we can honestly say and debate it as well. Is he the greatest of all time to play football? What would be your response to that?
Before we get to that, can I just say one thing real quick? If you guys are watching the video, the picture behind me is a picture of Tom Brady sitting on a football field, staring at the Lombardi Trophy. What you don't know is, I do like Tom Brady, unlike my co-host here, Alex Rodriguez. I actually do like the guy. Obviously, you like to see guys like him lose at some point because, God, somebody got to beat him. We tried to anoint Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers and everybody who had a chance, Patrick Mahomes, or please somebody to throw in this man. So we keep trying to find guys to do that. But the picture behind me is a picture of Nick Foles, actually. That's the Super Bowl that Nick Foles won. And this is right after the fumble where we recovered and we ended up winning the football game. So the last Super Bowl that Tom Brady lost was against the Eagles. And the last playoff victory that Tom Brady has is against the Eagles. So a little history fact there that the Eagles are, we're a big part of the end of Tom Brady.
I was gonna go into that's got to be your most favorite moment against Tom Brady.
My most favorite moment against him. Well, my most moment against him, or my most favorite Tom Brady moment. What is it?
Oh no, your most favorite moment against him. That has to be it.
Oh my God! Do you know the amount of bottles of champagne I drank that night? Oh my God!
Because the only good one that I got against him is the 2010 playoffs where we beat him 28-21 and went to the AFC Championship just to lose to I believe it was the Steelers. So
it was the Steelers.
But Mark Sanchez was on fire. He threw 3 touchdowns. He was efficient. Got us to the AFC Championship 2 times. But homeboy over here, he's a wizard, man.
We had 2 cracks at him. But Donovan McNabb was throwing up in the damn huddle all hung over. Meanwhile, Terrell Owens with a broken ankle, 9 catches, 122 yards. The greatest Super Bowl performance I've ever seen. I was like, God, that's my wide receiver. So since then, I've disowned Donovan McNabb, and now Nick Foles, to me, should be in the Ring of Honor. He is the greatest quarterback of all time in Philadelphia, in my humble estimation. But yeah, that would definitely be my favorite moment. It was just, when you win a Super Bowl, when you win a big game, you want to knock off the best. You know what I mean? It's fun. Oh, I beat up on, so-and-so. It don't really mean much if you win against just so and so. But when you win against what you have eloquently told us that the greatest football player of all time, if you beat him, I mean, what does that? What does that mean for you? You know what I mean? So,
It's Euphoria. It's
yeah,
Euphoria, not the TV show.
not the fentanyl and whatever they put in Euphoria. It's a different kind of Euphoria.
It is, but I mean, if I had to give you my favorite Tom Brady moment, is him coming to Tampa, though. I think the character change for Tom Brady, I could appreciate him more. Like I don't like him. I don't like him, but he's definitely more fun. And Tampa did that for him. And he
Yeah.
brought a Super Bowl here for the city. So I can enjoy him for that, for what he's done for the city, but he hasn't been here 22 years. He's been here for a weekend and now he's going home. So it's weird to see it because he was just robotic in New England.
But you
And
see
just
why though? That's
yeah,
the legion of robots. I
yeah,
mean, Chad Johnson went there and shut up for a whole year.
yeah, it was very quiet. But I get it. He was fine with being like that. He had the same type of win and will that Belichick had, and they had all the pieces. But when the pieces started to get old and deteriorated, he realized I can't do it here anymore, man. Like I could
He realized they told him, look, you might as well go somewhere. I mean, we ain't
yeah,
got nothing for you, cuz.
yeah, basically. So I mean, him coming to Tampa, winning a Super Bowl, first crack at it, Super Bowl's in Tampa. It's like surreal. So it's good to see that. It's good to see like a light side of him too, because every Patriot parade we've seen, he's always just really proper and holding the trophy. And to see him wasted in Tampa Bay is like it's
Never
pretty
thought you
funny.
would see that. You never thought you would see that
Never.
with him.
Mm-mm.
You know how really quickly, just my favorite non-Eagle versus Tom Brady moment. My favorite moment with Tom Brady was that where it was the day I anointed him to go was when he came back on Atlanta 28 from 28-3.
Oh,
But I remember watching it, and I know like there's some Falcon fans out there. Listen, when I watched that comeback, I'm like, first of all, the coaching staff in Atlanta is retarded. They're crazy. There's something wrong with them. But on the flip side of that, what they did to make that come like Tom Brady, and we were watching the Matthew Stafford game a couple of weeks ago.
almost did it there.
And he almost did it again. And the thing that Tom Brady does, why he's the greatest at what he's done ever, and it's not close. From a quarterback standpoint, we'll get to this conversation. It's not close from a quarterback standpoint. He put fear on both sides of the football to the point in which Cam Akers fumbled the ball twice, right? I think that's nerves. They snapped the ball over Matthew Stafford's head. That's nerves. Like all that stuff is, oh man, we can't let that man back on the field. So the coaching staff acts nervous. They start calling plays they don't normally call. The quarterback is nervous. He starts throwing the ball where he shouldn't throw it. Everyone's fumbling. And all he is on the sideline. But the fear of him getting back in the game is what makes him so great. And that 28-3, where they overcome and won, and then this 27-3, where he came back and tied the game, I feel like that was the perfect way for him to go out. Like if he wasn't going to go out with a Super Bowl, he needed to show one more time. After I led the league in every passing yards, touchdowns, completions, all that stuff, I needed to do one more impressive thing, just so y'all know I'm not leaving because y'all forced me out. I'm leaving because y'all are boring. Like he left because the game was too easy. How does this man come back from 27-3 against a team at that point? Like this Rams team, as currently constructed compared to all the injuries that the Bucs have, they're a superior team. They're a superior team. And this man's still chugging away, and all these uncharacteristic things. So that Falcons game, when I saw that, I remember I put it on Facebook. That's when I was using Facebook a lot. I was like, oh no, it's not even a question anymore. He's the GOAT. And that was what I felt with LeBron when he came back from 3-1 against Golden State. I was like, all right, y'all guys, now the conversation needs to be had. And with Brady, the conversation was already being had with him in Montana. But to me, that was the one that solidified it for me. So
yeah, and you're going right into it about like his impact on the sports is like that he could easily take over a game and strike fear, and he's well respected throughout the league. He's one of the most respected players in the league. He's also one of the most hated players in the league. And it's hate because they want to get to him and beat him. There's like the itch to beat him. If you can, it's like getting the golden ticket. You want that golden ticket, and the golden ticket is beating Tom Brady in the NFL. So his impact on the sport is going to be generational from here to come, the way I see it, because he went from replacing a very good quarterback in Drew Bledsoe, who led the team to the
It's y'all team's fault, by the way. It's y'all team's fault.
Yeah, we did something right there to hurt Drew Bledsoe, but we didn't know what we awakened.
I don't know what was happening.
we awakened the sleeping giant. So, but Drew Bledsoe led his team to the Super Bowl against the Packers, only to lose, and was in stride until, we want to go over that. I think it was Brian Cox did it. I think Brian Cox broke his what was it, his leg or whatever, his clavicle, something like that.
Oh, he had like internal bleeding. Like there was something in midsection, something where he had internal bleeding. Like that's all I remember. I was like, golly.
Forced him out the game, and the rest is history. Enter Tom Brady, enter Super Bowl winners. So it's been a crazy ride. And I think like that itself is just a poetic beginning to a very poetic ending to everything as well.
Mo Lewis.
That's right. That's what it was.
Mo Lewis, yeah.
Yeah. So that
hit could have killed him, by the way. It was that serious.
I remember seeing that hit. Man.
Sheesh.
But it's crazy to see his career come to an end finally, because there's been like so many years, like, when will he retire? When will he retire? When will he retire? What more does he have to prove? Man would like you said, if Gisele wasn't married to him, he'd play till he's 50. He'd play until.
I think she put that on the table. I think she was like, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Tom. Either you want this or you want that. But whatever way you go, that is your direction forever. So do you want this model with your kids, or do you want that little pigskin football with all the guys in the locker room? Is that what you want? The choice is yours. I mean, she was at that damn Buck-Rams game smiling. Even when they were down 27-3, she was like
putting on her game face.
She was chilling. She's like, bro, this is it. And then when he got knocked up and he started bleeding by his lip, because she's already complained about him having concussions and stuff in the past that no one diagnosed. Because you think Tom's going to a blue tent? Come on, Tom. You think Tom's going to go to a blue tent? Like, blue tent my ass. Tom's not going to no damn blue tent. But when he goes home and he can't remember Gisele's name, she's like, look, man, you got to stop. You got nothing to prove, husband. So, yeah.
But the argument is there a greater football player than him as of now? Is there a greater one? And will there ever be one to make the same accomplishments as him?
Your second question, all right. And this is something I think about all the time, because it happened with Jordan, it happened with Tom. Like, because the world was so obsessed with Michael Jordan, whatever Michael Jordan did, or whatever anybody did after him, would never be good enough. Like, it would never be good enough. So whenever, keep in mind, Michael Jordan was not really the norm. It's not easy to just go 6-0 in the finals. That's not normal to do, right? But the fact that he did it, if you don't do what he did, you're basically a bust. That's how people feel. So that's why, like, Kobe off the rip had to be great. LeBron off the rip had to be great. A lot of these players, 18, 19, 20 years old, don't even have an opportunity to be allowed to fail, because they have to be, if they're not Jordan, then right? Now we look at Tom. What Tom did was, because you understand, Bill Russell won 11 rings, Will Chamberlain scored 100 points. Like, there's a lot of unbreakable records in basketball that Michael Jordan didn't even do, but we don't even talk about them, right? We're just so fixated on 6-0. Now, fast forward to Tom Brady. I don't know any other quarterback that has gone to 10 Super Bowls, and I don't think that we'll ever see a quarterback that can get to 10 Super Bowls. Because the 7 wins alone is impressive, right? Keep in mind, Marshawn Lynch run the ball, that's one less. Atlanta Falcons run the ball instead of passing it and stopping the clock, that's one less. So that's why. So the 7 wins are not as impressive to me. I think Super Bowls in NFL sports are a team award.
It's very. Yeah.
I mean, against that Rams team, that first one was the greatest show on turf. They used the highest scoring offense up until the 2007 Patriots, and Bill Belichick held them to 14 points, right? So that's a team. And then not Gostowski, what's the other kicker's name? The original kicker, Vinatieri hit the game-winning kick, right? And the game before was the Tuck rule where he actually fumbled the ball and it would have been game over. So a lot of things have to happen in NFL to win a Super Bowl. So to me, that's more of a team award. But for him to get to 10 Super Bowls, to me, is the more impressive thing because that's basically half of his career. Half of his career, if it wasn't for the Manning family, if it wasn't for the Manning family and Nick Foles, that man would have had 15 Super Bowls. It's like because Peyton, he lost to Peyton 3 times in the AFC Championship game, and then he lost to
Eli twice,
and then he lost to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah.
So that's 5 right there, and then the Foles Super Bowl is 6. I'm just so happy that the Philadelphia Eagles are part of that legacy. So to me, what he was able to accomplish, I can't see anybody else accomplishing because what he did is not normal. Because if you think about it, think of all the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Before him, the GOAT was Joe Montana. He has 4 appearances. Not only does he have 4 rings, he has only 4 appearances. John Elway has 2 out of like 5. Peyton Manning has 2. Drew Brees has 1. Aaron Rodgers has 1. Brett Favre has 1. Like Terry Bradshaw has 4. Like all the greatest quarterbacks of all time, none of them even have more than 4 wins, let alone getting to 10 Super Bowls. So you mean to tell me Patrick Mahomes is going to get the 10 Super Bowls? I don't think so because there's a Justin Herbert, there's a Joe Burrow, who we're about to talk about shortly. There's so much talent in the NFL now. And organizationally, your organization has to be as pristine as the Patriots was for 20 years. Jerry Jones can never be Robert Kraft. Right? No. Jerry Jones has a lot of Super Bowls, but he's too involved with the team. Robert Kraft just sit back there, go to a little massage parlor,
rub and tug,
and go hang out with Meek Mill, right? Bill Belichick does all the work, but Bill Belichick is uber focused on just football, and that's it. He doesn't have all the outside interests. So when you have a team like New England, that was the perfect storm for the perfect player to fit in that storm. Cincinnati, organizationally, for forever, they've not been a great organization. So I can't expect Joe Burrow to be winning 6 or 7 Super Bowls. I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes, I don't see it. Like he's gonna be great for a while, but we thought the same thing about Aaron Rodgers, and he's only been to 1 Super Bowl. You know how hard it is to get to a Super Bowl? It's 1 game. Josh Allen, it's like the Bills have had so much bad luck for years. They went to 4 straight. It couldn't even win 1. So we're never going to see another Tom Brady because what Tom Brady did is unprecedented. Now, what my concern is that because no one might reach those accolades, everyone that comes short, we're going to label them, oh, it wasn't Brady though. And I don't like that for everybody because I'm a big LeBron fan. I don't like how we do that with him and Jordan. Well, Jordan would have done this, and Jordan would have done that. Look, Jordan was Jordan in the 90s. Kobe was Kobe in the 2000s, and LeBron was LeBron in 2010. It's like we passed the torch down. That's how it should be. Tom Brady has passed the torch down to all the amazing quarterbacks that we have right now. I don't think they're ever going to eclipse what he accomplished numbers-wise and, championships and all that stuff. I don't think so. It's just the game is not built that way anymore for that to happen.
I think there's multiple GOATs in every sport, to be honest with you. Like
there's
records. Yeah, there's like records that certain players have that won't be like. I mean, there's offense, there's defense too. We could argue that Reggie White and Lawrence Taylor were 2 of the greatest defensive players of all time.
Not argue, they were.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but we could go back and forth who was better. So it's just like there's different categories to put people in. And if you watched the Peyton Manning versus the Tom Brady games, there was so much competitiveness there. Although they were friends, like you could see it at the end. We saw all the little skits they would do afterwards. There was competitiveness there, and you were going to get a good game every time. Even when it came down to the other brother, like you saw the competitiveness there to win. The crazy catches, the crazy calls that, we all know the great players are going to get their calls and the refs are in their favor. But if it's clear as day to the world, what are they going to say? Hey, man, he held on to the ball. Like, we can't do anything here for you, Tom.
Your job as a referee is to protect the product. And the best product on the field, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
Yeah, but
LeBron, that's who you protect.
If you see the effortless wins that Aaron Rodgers would get in the regular season, it's insane to think that he's not in the GOAT conversation. Like, he wins games effortlessly. However, when he does get to the playoffs, we know it. He's just subpar.
Yeah,
He can't close the deal.
Tom Brady's the only quarterback, not the only, in the last 20 years, out of all the quarterbacks, he's the one that man, I hope he doesn't have the ball last in the playoff game.
If he has 40, we said it all year. All he needs is 45 seconds.
I hope he doesn't have the ball
45
last.
seconds. That's the thing. Like, if he gets the ball last, you better be shitting bricks, because he's going to come back and he's going to win it on you.
Like, what happened in that Rams game? Stafford had the ball last. That was the only difference in this game. In this scenario, Stafford had the ball.
Well, the Bucs didn't have a secondary either, so that was the big thing. So.
But if Tom Brady could play safety, he would have got that pick.
Oh, absolutely. When we've seen Tom run, it doesn't look great. He can't even catch a 15-yard pass. So, but it's an end of an era for a great player, and like you said, there are multiple GOATs all along the NFL realm, the NBA realm, the MLB realm. There's different ones, and they share their traits differently. And I think Tom Brady, just as if I had to pick like the guy that'd be in the middle, I'd have to put Tom Brady there though. Like, there's multiple guys, but Tom Brady has to be that guy for me.
Yeah.
It hurts to say that, but just he's accomplished so much, and the way he accomplished it is just like, it sticks out to you. Like, to go out on top in every passing category, and to even go out in a gunslinging effect, to where you bring your team back. And the Bucs should be in the Super Bowl. Let's be honest, they really should, but they didn't address things that they needed, and that's why they are where they are. But Tom Brady single-handedly brought that team back to be where they're going to be.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you can't say there's a lot of teams who have lost. Like, we're about to get to it. There's a lot of teams who have lost in this playoffs, and we can blame the quarterbacks directly. I can blame Jimmy Garoppolo. I can blame Patrick Mahomes. I can blame a lot of these Ryan Tannehill. I can blame him. But Karen Rodgers. We can blame him. But for a fact, you can never actually blame Tom Brady as the reason why my team lost this playoff game.
It's true. And
like, for the most part, he did just enough to get you to a position to be successful.
He did. And it's the end of an era. And it's sad. And it's also an end of an era for quarterbacks that we got to watch playing. Within the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of great quarterbacks retire. The Manning brothers are gone. Drew Brees is gone. Phillip Rivers is gone. Big Ben finally retired. And now Tom is done. So the good news is
I'm running out of people back. But you gotta understand, I watched this man play in middle school. I watched Tom. Like I watched his first Super Bowl as a sixth grader because I was cheering for the Rams in that one. Because I like to see, I went Marshall Faulk and all that. That was a cool team to cheer for. But then I was like, bro, who the hell is Tom Brady? Like, who is this guy? At that time, football was still kind of like, I'm learning football. But I'm like, who is that guy over there? And then they come back a couple years later, and they're again against Jake Delhomme. I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? And then by the next time, I'm officially an Eagles fan. And when he beat us, that's when I was like, man, I can't rock with Tom Brady no more. And then after that, he went 10 years before he won his next one, which is crazy. He won 3 in like a very short span, got to 2 more and lost both to Eli, and then finally came back and beat Seattle on some lucky shit at the end. And then there was another dynasty that was born. Like, it was like, this man had 3 Hall of Fame careers.
Yeah, it's great. And I think the NFL is in good hands though with the product they're putting on the field now at the quarterback position, because we're going to get to see a lot of competitive quarterbacks again. And just like we made that correlation a couple weeks ago, the Manning Brady era, we're going to see that with Josh Allen and Mahomes. It's going to be that now. And now Joe Burrow's got something to say.
We say that. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow's in the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, the real one out of all 3 of them was probably Joe, but we'll see.
Well, we're giving Joe his flowers way too early, but we'll get to Joe in a little bit. I got no beef with. I love the way Joe. If I had to have a quarterback, Joe Burrow would be my starting quarterback.
I don't see how it's possible for anybody to hate Joe Burrow. Like,
there isn't.
You must be
unless you're an Alabama fan.
You must be a hateful person to hate Joe Burrow. I'm sorry.
He's the most complete player, and he's so chill.
Yeah.
He's so relaxed. And when he said in his interview he listens to Kid Cudi, I was like, I already love him now.
Yeah.
He's my favorite now.
I just be rocking
But
with the chains and the glasses and stuff. I'm
yeah,
like,
he's got the swag.
I
He's swag.
swag you, Joe.
He's super chill though. Like he's so chill about everything. He's
And
not.
You can tell it's not forced.
Yeah, everything is
forced.
just like organic.
Yeah.
It's not like I got to go out there and say things they want me to say, or I'm a douchey kind of guy. I'm just a kid taking pictures with a LeBron jersey in my mirror.
Listen, I'm always gonna be a fan of people from the Midwest. That's just how I am. It's just being from from Detroit. Anybody from Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, like that kind of like I always have like an affinity for them, and I feel like you because even Pennsylvania, even though it's more East Coast, I feel like they bring that Steel City, car making, blue collar, just get your hands greasy and dirty kind of feel, and they're all just down to earth because like you have no choice in those places where it snows all the time. It's ugly outside every single day. There's nothing beautiful about any of these places that I just mentioned. So always having an affinity. So I think Tom Brady going from California to the University of Michigan, and then going from University of Michigan to New England, he got that same swag where it's just like, get your hands dirty. We're gonna come out in jumbo set and pound the rock, and I'm not gonna be mad that I'm not passing the ball 50 times a game. Like he got that culture from Boston that. To me, if he would have went anywhere else, we wouldn't see the same player, honestly, to be honest with you.
Well, for the longest, he started to look like a New Englander too, with that long hair. He started to look like Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon and Goodwill Hunting.
It's infectious.
It was annoying, man. I was like, God, he's not even from there, but he's from California. He looks like one of them. He's like a sheep or a wolf in sheep's clothing right now. But when he came to Tampa, he chopped it all off.
When he came to Tampa, he adapts. And if there's anything about Tom Brady, there's never been a teammate of Tom Brady that has anything bad to say about him. Ever. I mean, everyone hates somebody at some point. I've not heard one, even Antonio Brown flip-flopping ass, I love you, Brady, blah, blah, blah. Even him, like everyone has a positive thing to say about Brady. So that has to mean something. Even your hating ass knows Tom Brady ain't all that bad. He just whooped up on my team for 20 years.
Oh, bro, I couldn't stand the guy. If I met him in person, I probably wouldn't shake his hand. But will I respect the game he plays and what he's done for the NFL and his winning culture that he's done? Absolutely, man. Like I have to give the man his flowers there. Like he definitely has left his mark on the NFL. And I don't think we're going to see a player as dominant as he was ever again. But,
and he deflated them football, but oh well.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else did it too.
Yeah, he got his rules for him too. So I mean, he did him. But hey, Tom, get away with what you can, I guess. But thanks for a great career. Thanks for shitting on my team every year. Glad KK got one on you.
Hey, I appreciate you, Tom. What you did for my boy Nick Foles and what you did for the rest of the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, we had an opportunity back in 2004 and we couldn't pull it off. But when we got that get back, you made me the happiest man in the world. No offense. So I appreciate you, Tom.
Yeah, man, and thank you for everything you did for Tampa and your weekend trip here, man. It's
thank you for raising our gas prices and rent. Damn it.
Yeah. And we can't wait for you to get out of here so we can start preaching to the Buccaneers fans again.
Yeah, I want to start picking up. Like I'm trying to pick up Buck fans again now. When Blaine Gabbert is Blue 18, but when he's back there, then I get to talk my shit again.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait. All right, so let's go to another big topic in football now that Tom is gone. Currently, Brian Flores is suing NFL for hints of racism and hiding in the hiring process that they're taking towards him. Does the NFL have something against black head coaches? What do you think?
How many NFL teams are there?
32.
How many black coaches?
Well, there was a guy for the Texans, but he didn't even last the whole year. So he did last the year. Just Mike Tomlin? Is that it?
That's it. That is it. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, and I look at some of these hires, and over the last just few years. And I just kind of just scratch my head. Then I look at some of the hires when black coaches do get hired, and I realize what they get hired to are shitty situations that they probably can't overcome. Case in point, David Culley. Like Deshaun Watson wanted he wanted Brian Flores, he wanted Eric Bieniemy, he wanted I forgot who else, but he didn't even ask them to hire him. He said, "Could you at least interview Eric Bieniemy? Could you at least interview so and so and so and so?" And they said, "Nah, we go do it our way." And they went and get David Culley, knowing they literally made it a point, knowing that we're going to fire him next year. They gave him a situation in which we knew Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play this year. And we knew that the Texans weren't going to trade him this year. We knew that the team had gotten rid of DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt,
Andre Johnson.
The team that's gotten – so we knew David Culley got there, and there's nothing there. When we did our preseason thing, I think I picked him to win maybe one game. And David Culley over-exceeded expectations. He took a rookie quarterback because Tyrod Taylor couldn't stay healthy and won his team a few games and was competitive till the bitter end, right? Fired him, right? Your boy, Dan Campbell with the Lions, did
my boy. I like his style.
No, I like him too. Did the same exact thing, mind you, right? Like, what was the difference between the Lions and the Texans? Two shitty teams coming into the season that overperformed. One of them got fired, and now they're looking at Josh Mccomb with no coaching history whatsoever, and the other one, Dan Campbell, has a job still. Meanwhile, in Miami, the guy Brian Flores, who year one, they were trying to pay him to lose. They tried to pay him to lose. He said no. They ended up winning a few games. They drafted Tua. With Tua, year one, 10-6. Year two, 9-8. Beat New England twice in the season as well. And they fired him. Can you explain to me, all right, this whole story, with the whole Giant situation, I don't think he's going to get anywhere with that. I'm a recruiter. When you find your guy, you find your guy. It's just, and I think the Rooney Rule is the worst thing ever because the Rooney Rule is the reason why they have to do these token interviews, which is like you're bringing in somebody who you know doesn't even have a chance to get the job.
You're doing it because it's the rule. You're
wasting this man's time. So to me, that situation with Dayball was more of a Rooney Rule issue that needs to be scrapped. They need to completely revamp this whole hiring process and learn an actual application and hiring process. I'll get to that point. So, needless to say, the Giant situation, look, I that one's probably not going to go anywhere. The Broncos situation, that one's probably not going to go anywhere because here's what the Broncos are going to say. Well, we just had a black coach 2-3 years ago. So, what are you talking about, right? So, that one's not going to go. And they're going to say they showed up hungover. You can't prove that someone showed up hungover. So, that one's not going to go anywhere, right? But what you can prove, I know that, like, as somebody who's studying human resources right now, you can't fire somebody based off of just, we're just not really, seeing eye to eye, right? There was no performance issues. There was no, the team had a winning record 2 years in a row. So they're winning despite the fact that their team is not as talented as some of these other teams. And you try to incentivize him to lose year one. So I can prove that he offered me $100,000 a year game to lose. Hugh Jackson has similar notes as well. That part I can prove. So basically, Stephen Ross is messing up the integrity of the game by trying to get Brian Flores to lose. And I told people this a few weeks ago because I know for a fact that the Dolphins really wanted Joe Burrow. I get it, okay? I get it. As an owner of a team, I understand. Damn, I wish we sucked a little bit more so we can get Joe Burrow. But guess what? I, as a coach, cannot tell the 53 guys in my locker room on Sunday, hey guys, huh?
Go lose.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't tell these 53 guys, hey, guys, go lose. What? Like, you've played organized sports before. I've played organized sports before. Whether it's Pop Warner, middle school, high school, it doesn't matter. College, professionals, doesn't matter. I can't look, I would not, as a coach, look my players in the eye and say, hey, guys, I don't think you guys should go win today. So just don't give it too much effort. Let them score. Or, like, how do you look these grown ass men in the eye to tell them to go lose? Like, no, fucking, what do we do about that? So that part, that to me was the biggest story out of all of this, because the problem about minority hiring with head coaches in NFL, that's the problem that's been there and it's never going to go away, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, when the 32 people who own these teams are 65 years of age plus and all look exactly the same,
and why?
What do you expect them to do? They're going to hire people that they quote unquote feel comfortable around, can relate to, blase, 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 rather than actually hiring the best candidate for the job. Like, what's his man's name that the Chicago Bears just hired? The God, what's his name?
The head coach?
They just hired him. Matt Eberflus. Have you ever heard of Matt Eberflus?
I know he put together a good defense, but has it been good for 5 or 6 years? He was the defensive
coordinator for the team that needed to beat Jacksonville to get into the playoffs and let Jacksonville score 24 on them.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever it was. Meanwhile, you got Jim Caldwell, when he was coaching the Lions, got fired after he had a winning record. Meanwhile, Byron Leftwich has revamped. I mean, even when because Byron Leftwich was there with Jameis his last year. Although he had 30 interceptions, Jameis Winston also had 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. Okay? Tom Brady looked way better in Tampa at an old age than he did his last few years in New England. Byron Leftwich still don't got no job. But Matt Eberflus. And now Josh Mccomb, a guy who has never coached He's never coached Pop Warner. He's never coached high school. He's never volunteered college. He's never coordinated a game in his life. And he's probably going to get the Texans job.
He's been one of these the entire time. A clipboard kid is what he's done.
Look, you could be a clipboard guy all you want. If I'm the commissioner, like, these are the guidelines. You need to have, think about it. At the end of the day, it's a job, right? And every job that you apply for, you need 3 to 5 years of experience. You need a master's degree. You need a bachelor's degree. You need basic qualifications to get that job, correct? To me, that's the bigger issue in the hiring process. It's not just the simple fact that they're not hiring minority coaches. It's the fact that they never get the opportunity to even try to get the job because the head coaches or the commissioner, not the commissioner, the team owner or GM has already identified who they already want.
Exactly.
Case in point, Matt Eberflus. Like, Matt Eberflus is a head coach before Byron Leftwich has a chance, or Eric Bieniemy has a chance, or Jim Paul has a chance to come back.
That's what I was going to make the point about. Is like, look at Stephen. I love Stephen A. I love his analysis of things. I love the way he sees things and the way he picks things up. Look at Nathaniel Hackett. Got the job as the head coach of the Broncos. How many seasons was he the offensive coordinator for the Packers?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay, but look at Eric Bieniemy. He's been there for how long? He's been to 4 AFC championships.
And you know what they say when it comes to Eric, you know what they say when it comes to Eric Bieniemy? Huh. He doesn't interview well. What does that mean to you? What is that?
It means he's black.
My head coach in Philadelphia, Nick Sirianni, okay? I saw his first press conference and I saw his second press conference. You can't tell me, based on those first 2 press conferences, that he interviews well. You cannot tell me that he interviews well. Like, I like the guy. He's cool. I would love to replace him with somebody better, but he's who we have. But you can't sit there and tell me that he interviews well based on what I've seen from him in public.
Do you think Dan Campbell interviews well? Like, he says, I'm going to bite off.
Dan Campbell probably does. All right. No, Green Bay. All right, no. All right. Hackett has a better case. He's been coaching since 03. College 03, Stanford 03, 04, and then he started with the Bucks in 06, 07. So
Okay,
he
but
has 16 years. Like same thing with Brian Flores and all these like the Brian Flores of the world. Oh, even Joe Judge, who I couldn't stand, he still had a reason to probably get that job. He was with New England for 20 years. I would hire anybody from New England. I get it.
how many? I was like arguing this story with someone like, how many special team coaches have you ever seen get hired as a head coach?
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh was really?
Yeah, he's the best special team coach of all time. He won Baltimore Super Bowl.
Jesus, didn't know that. Well, there you go.
Harbaugh, that's where Harbaugh came from.
Okay, so, well, I stand corrected there then.
It's not like it's impossible. It's just a matter of
you're right.
It's just a matter of the whole equal employee opportunity and actually giving someone a fair shot to interview for a job. That to me is the bigger picture here. Like the Giants part of it, the Broncos part of it, I'm not really I can't really because from a legal standpoint, I don't think he has enough legs to stand on. All it did was open up a conversation that needs to be had, is that the hiring process. I mean, there's probably some very good qualified white coaches out there too who don't even get an opportunity to interview for a job because they don't have a relationship with the owner. So to me, this opens up a bigger conversation about just hiring in the first place. Because when being a recruiter, I see the world, and being in human resources and everything like that, where I used to work at Enterprise when I was a manager there, I used to have to hire people as well. So I see the world from a completely different lens because I see it from a hiring standpoint. And as a recruiter, I recruit for a lot of big Citibank, Morgan Stanley, big banks, and they have clear guidelines in how they want to recruit people, how they want to create diversity in the workplace. And they have clear guidelines about that, like clear as day guidelines. And then we're talking about Citibank, one of the top banks in the entire world. JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank in the world. The NFL, for what it's worth, is the biggest sporting league in the world. And they need to set a better example by having real equal opportunity for everyone to get a job. I mean, when 70% of your workforce is of African American descent or of African hue, black skin, why is there only one coach? I find that hard to believe.
And if they fire him, it's insane because he's never had a losing season. But the argument that
Steven, bro. If they had a chance, if he had one losing season, because think about it, you hear it every year. Oh, Mike Tomlin. Oh, why doesn't he go here? Oh, every year they try to rip this man. I'm like, you can't rip this man.
What about this? I was thinking this earlier. I was like, all these teams get together for like the owners' meetings and stuff like that. What if Mike Tomlin is like the one token guy for them? They're like, okay, we've got one head coach, so we can't get in trouble. And the Steelers like, we'll keep him as long as he's good, unless somebody else.
The thing is that out of all the organizations, the Steelers do it right.
I feel like they do too. So
they only have 3 head coaches in 60 plus years. 3.
So I want to agree with that.
They understand. The Steelers do it right. The Ravens actually do it right as well. Like those are 2 organizations that get it for sure. I can always count on those 2 to just get it, But a lot of these other ones, I mean, what do you expect? The dude was born in 1933 and has $7 billion to his name. He's gonna do what the hell he wants. He's going to do how he done. Like, you're not gonna tell a multi-billionaire what to do. It's just you can't do it. You know what I mean? Like Donald Sterling showed you his true color just 6 years ago. It wasn't like this was 20 years ago. This is less than a decade ago. He said it himself out of his mouth, what he thinks. So you don't think, I mean, the rule of probability would tell me there's a lot more Donald Sterlings that own professional teams than not. So I don't want to hear all this, we hired the most qualified guy. No, we have a black quality control coach. Oh no, our quarterback is black. That's what they're gonna try to, oh no, we got this, but we did that, but we did this. It's basically saying, I can't be racist. I have a black friend. That is literally what they've been saying for the last how many years. Which is why they call that black friend the token friend, because He's the one that allows me to say I have a black friend. So like we talking about Tom Brady earlier. The reason why I like Robert Kraft so much, there's
Hangs out with
people,
good money.
there's people who talk about it. This man is at the forefront of criminal injustice. He's in the forefront. Like locked arm in arm with Meek, with Jay-Z, Michael Rubin, like they're interlocked arms to and Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is the GOAT, by the way. No. Don't do that.
I know.
Kim Kardashian, she's about that life. She really is about that life. But there's a few people like who are really about that life. Kraft is one of those people. But for every Kraft, there's a Donald Sterling. For every one Kraft, there's 5 Donald Sterlings. I mean that's the problem. So until those 5 become just 2, unfortunately, they're not gonna just die off because they probably raised their son to be the same way, and then that guy raised their child to be the same way, and it's like a trickle down effect. It probably won't ever go away, but until we get to a place in which we can at least just have a conversation, and because this is what Brian Flores essentially. I mean, he sacrificed his career to get the conversation going. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, God bless him for that. I don't know if I would have enough courage to do that. That's why when we started off the show, when we were doing the rundown, I was like, that's a brave man. Like, because the difference between him and Colin Kaepernick was that Kaepernick didn't say nothing. So his message got lost. And I was like, bro, I don't know. Like, he said stuff early and then went radio silent. And then I'm like, the message got lost. Brian Flores is on Good Morning America. He was on ESPN. He's going to make his rounds so that everyone understands what he's trying to do, and then let the legal team take care of everything else. And it's my hope that he carries this torch as far as he can carry it, because they're going to try to give him some hush money. I mean, they're billionaires. They got a couple.
They try to give him $100K already every game he lost.
They got a couple million to shut up. They're going to try to give him some money to shut up. The Texas McNair, he's racist as hell. He already said, I don't want the prisoners running the asylum and all that stuff. He's probably going to offer him a job just so he can save face. Don't take that job. Please don't take that job.
Exactly. Please don't, man.
Oh, man, this whole situation is just, I'm happy that it's happening because it's a conversation that I have in my head a lot. I'm like, damn, man, like, what did this guy, like, what did Jim Caldwell do to not have a job? Like, what did Marvin Lewis, like Hugh Jackson got set up for failure in Cleveland.
Failure, yes, absolutely. And then,
like, when they finally put a team around that can work, they get rid of him. Like, no, like, come on, man. Like, I see the world through a different lens, and I know what's going on, but it's just, Flores had to come and say it.
Yeah, and it sucks he has to be the sacrificial lamb, because I like the guy. And if you remember when they were allowing the players to protest, remember the Dolphins made a video and he was in it at the end. He said, we ain't gonna be silent no more. So it shows you he's about this life. This is what he wants. And it's unfortunate this is probably going to be the end of his coaching career, unless some team like the Texans is like, yeah, we're with it. We're hip. Come on over here. I don't think he'd be a sellout to do that, but I just think that wouldn't be a good fit.
At the end of the day, he still should go get a job. But the problem is, again, I've learned this doing my MBA. When somebody, he's basically the whistleblower, and when the whistleblower blows the whistle, he can't be at the company no more because he's suing you. I can't have the person suing me work for me at the same time. It doesn't work like that. So
yeah, no, he's not going to get a job.
He essentially has ended his career, but he can get a good one of these good SEC college jobs or something. I don't know. Go give him a big bag, or he should go partner up with somebody and get into ownership. I think they should make Stephen Ross sell the team, and then he go partner up with Jay-Z, because he's from Brooklyn. He's from Brownsville, so I like go partner up with Jay-Z, go partner up with a few people, and have all Derek Jeter. What's that lady name? Gloria Estefan. All of them, and just buy the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good look, but I mean, it's just unfortunate because we saw the beginning budding career of a really good head coach, and everybody but Minkah Fitzpatrick wanted to play for him, it seemed like, and it's just unfortunate it didn't work out with the Dolphins. I think that was the most shocking firing to all of us when we saw that. So
that came. I mean, you want to talk about left field? That came from damn California all the way here to Tampa, like to Florida. Like that came out of the left field like that. That made no. And leave it to Bill Belichick to get back at the Giants after those 2 Super Bowl losses. To like, you know what? I'm about to accidentally send this message to the wrong Brian.
Whoops, my bad.
Whoops, I effed up. My bad.
Yeah. How you work this thing again?
You're Brian, right? Oh, you BF. Oh, my bad. I thought that was BB. My bad, Flores.
Yeah, man, that's freaking crazy, man. It's unfortunate, man. But I wish the guy the best in his endeavors, and I'm curious to see how long this is going to play out. Because like if it plays out like the Kaepernick instance, it could go for a long time, man. But
it's a lawsuit,
the NFL,
but this is unless there's hush money, this is going to last.
yeah, I don't think he's in for the hush money. I think he's in for the long haul, and I'm happy for it. It's just unfortunate. So, was a good run for you, Brian. But I mean, now starts your.
This is your new chapter.
Yeah, and we've been preaching about this. But the NFL is always behind on shit, and this is just another thing they're behind on. So, shame on you, NFL. Get with the times, man. Like, look at it. Like,
because
they're always behind.
I can't blame Goodell, and I can't blame Goodell because at the end of the day, Goodell works for the 32 owners. That's how it works in the NFL. The 32 owners are the ones that own the NFL. He's just the commissioner because he's the guy. He's the mouth of the 32 owners. So at the end of the day, he doesn't really have the power to say, "Hey, go hire so and so." Because they're gonna be like,
I'm not trying to throw jabs at Goodell here.
This is what they're gonna say to Goodell: "Get your broke ass out of my office."
Yeah, they're getting new guys. What they'll do. But at the end of the day, it's the 32 guys that are running the NFL that it's just doesn't look good. It never looks good. And then the worst part about it is when you have a head coach hiring every 2 years. Like, what are you really doing here then? What are you doing then at this point? It's just dumb to me. But all right, so usually we start off the show with the games that were played. So we'll transition into that now. We'll go with the playoff talk on the conference championships. Obviously, we got.
Can I just say something really quick?
Go ahead.
The youngest NFL owner is Clark Hunt of the Chiefs. He's 55. And then there's only, and then the Glazers is the other, like there's only 3 that are in their 50s, right? After that, they're all 60 to 97. 97. 97. So the average age, the if you go do math, the median age is like 73 or something like that. Out of touch, out of times. That is why we are here where we are. Continue.
Yep. All right, so we got to see 2 divisional or conference championship games, and first it was Smoking Joe taking down the was it Smoking Joe first?
That was the first game.
It was the first game, yeah. Smoking Joe taking down Pat Mahomes. And then we got to see Tom Brady's last game, losing in Tampa Bay to the Los Angeles.
We saw the 49ers and the Rams.
Oh, I'm
Where are you at, dog?
I've been sick all weekend. My bad.
Where are you at?
We got to see Jimmy G get his.
Somebody check his blood pressure. All right, guys. I'll tell y'all real quick. The first game was Smoking Joe. Came back and pulled off a nice victory against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the second game, we saw Jimmy Garoppolo gag it up once again. So for Matt Stafford and the Rams to get into the Super Bowl. All right, continue.
All right, my bad there. So immediately when I saw Joe Burrow walk in that stadium, I was like, you have to take this man serious. You have to take him serious because he's so calm. He's so cool. He's so collective. The fit was everything. The Burberry jacket he had on, the black Nike t-shirt turtleneck. Where you get those at, I don't know. The Joe chain, the glasses, the Macaulay Culkin haircut.
Yeah. He cold, man. He a cold dude,
He
man.
told he
He's
came
a
in.
cold dude.
He came into the loudest stadium in the NFL, supposedly, in front of all of those fans and shut them up, man. Because I remember I watched the beginning of the first half. I was like, this is done. Mahomes doing what Mahomes does, 3 effortless, easy touchdowns, and they're giving it to these boys. But in the end, yo, I will tell you this, man. What wins you football games is defense and also what you put on the field. If you have something, we preach this all the time. If you're missing something, go get those things. And what I've been saying and seeing all year from the Chiefs, those boys like have no middle, they have no front, they have no back. It's subpar. It's in the middle of the NFL. And what I learned about that team is they can't tackle. There were so many opportunities to sack that man and take him down. I even saw Chris Jones do it. He wrapped him up completely and he got out of that. You're that caliber of a player and you can't bring down that kid. I'm sorry, man. I mean, then we got to give Mahomes his flowers for that too. Because all we talked about is this man has been sacked all the time. And I feel like he heard that shit. He's like, I'm not getting sacked today. This shit ain't happening like that.
Not Mahomes.
Burrow. Yeah. Joe Burrow did that. So it's just like, it's insane to see that. He went from being so sacked and looking pathetic.
They had 0 sacks that game. The Chiefs. 9 sacks against the Titans. 0 the following week.
It's insane, man. The guy is the real deal. And all year I've been saying the Bengals they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And it's like a Cinderella story, man, the way they do it.
Shout out to Vic. Shout out to Vic, man. He first guessed this one.
Vic
has been all over this story.
Vic has been all over this, man. And Vic gets his flowers. Vic gets his little his little Vic time, whatever you want. We'll be on their show next Monday. So we'll definitely give him his flowers before we do our hostile takeover there. But yeah, man, Joe Burrow's it, man. I gotta give him credit where credit's due, man.
So if I had to divvy up between the two, like, all right, do I blame the Chiefs more or do I give the Bengals more credit? I have one play. Third down, end of the first half, 5 seconds on the clock, kick the field goal. That's all you needed to do. And I remember sitting on the couch because at that point, I tweeted, "Oh, Patrick, what's his middle name? Mahomes. The second is the best show." You texted me. I'm just keying like, damn, Mahomes. Tom Brady's gone, but here comes Mahomes, right? And then that last drive, I was like, oh, they gave him way too much time. Then he got to the red zone, got to the goal line. There was 13 seconds on the clock. And I remember I tweeted, I said, 13 seconds. Crying face, laughing, crying face. I'm like, 13 seconds, way too much time for Mahomes. And they left that half with no points scored on that drive. And I was at that moment, I looked at the scoreboard. I was like, dog, it's only an 11-point game. All so well. Like the Chiefs came out and threw haymaker, right hook, left hook, haymaker, Hadouken, karate kick, everything. They gave the Bengals everything they could handle and went into the half only up 11 points. And when I saw that, because they didn't convert, they didn't kick a field goal. Like, if they would have scored a touchdown, great. We're not having this discussion. I think they would have blown them out if they would have scored that touchdown.
Absolutely.
But they decide not to kick. They decide not to go into the half with the extra 3 more points. And it was at that moment I said, "Oh, they're not going to be able to recover from this." I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it until I actually saw it. But I'm watching that because they got the ball to start the second half. The Chiefs 3 and out, right? And I was looking at the throws. Everyone looked tight. I'm talking about they came out guns a blazing, confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, chain hanging low. Everybody Tyreek was feeling himself. Kelsey everyone was feeling themselves in that first half, right? Second half roll around, 3 and out. Everyone starts dropping shit. Patrick Mahomes pump faking, not because he's trying to pump fake because he's scared to throw the damn ball. Like, I'm like, yo, I've never seen like that was it, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, whatever. Like first half, they look like the greatest football team I've ever seen. Second half, they look like the 0-16 Lions from like 10 years ago. They look that bad. Like Patrick Mahomes had like 15 yards in the second half. Like, what the hell was that? So to me, that drive to not kick a field goal to go into the half up 14, and for them to come out only up 11, I was like, oh, they're gonna chip away. Because we just saw it a month ago. The Bengals just did this to them a month ago. Like week 17, they were down 14-0, blah, blah, blah. They went into the half up, only down like 11, I think, the same thing. And it chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. It was the same exact story. So, and then like Joe, I got to give Joe a lot of credit because Joe's so damn, like, we were just saying it with Tom Brady earlier, right? Tom Brady had Cam Akers fumbling the ball twice. Tom Brady had them snapping the ball over Matthew Stafford's head because people fear that man, right? Joe Burrow, in only his second year, coming off of an ACL surgery, had the whole Chiefs offense shook. And the Chiefs defense, who played very well in the second half of the season, well, middle to second half of the season, they got torched in the second half. And Burrow and Mixon and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they torched them in that second half. And for Joe Burrow to never lose his cool in that game, going against the team that's been to 4 straight AFC Championship games, that the team that's been to 3 straight, 2 straight Super Bowls, whatever the situation was, for them to be that cool, for him to be that cool in Arrowhead where the fans are crazy, bro.
And they put that stat out that he's the most calm quarterback in like the huddle out of all 32 teams.
Yeah, track his heart rate. That shit does not go over. Rest on heart rate the whole way through.
Yeah,
this man is already look. We said it earlier. We talked about this earlier with Tom. I don't know if there's ever going to be another Tom Brady, okay? But Joe Burrow is cutting out a path, and if he played for a different team, I think Joe Burrow could have had a chance to be the next Tom Brady. I don't trust the Cincinnati organization to be that great for him for long enough for him to overcome Cincinnati. But for him, the matter and the magnitude of this situation alone, to beat the Raiders in the first round when they didn't really play that well, to beat the number 1 seed in Tennessee in the second round when he got sacked 9 times, and then to go into Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes, bruh. I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Like, this man is elite already, and we said this about Tom Brady in his second year. Man, this kid is already elite, but we didn't really know he was elite yet. But he won a Super Bowl early, and Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl early, and Joe Burrow has gotten himself to a Super Bowl with a team that everyone picked to finish last in the North. Everybody, except for Vic. Every single human picked them to finish last. Because why? Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Baker Mayfield sucks, but the rest of that team on paper, when they assembled it over the summer, was amazing. And it's still Mike Tomlin. He doesn't have losing seasons. And everyone picked the Bengals to finish last. Joe Cool got him in the Super Bowl. So no matter how you feel about whatever, Joe Burrow is that dude. And we've been talking about Brady Manning with Josh Allen and Mahomes. Joe Burrow got something. Like, remember when Outkast at the Source Awards, like, the South got something to say. Joe Burrow said, look, Cincinnati, the Midwest got something to say. Cincinnati got something to say. So Joe Burrow got something to say. It's really shocking to me because I remember I tweeted it like on the 19th or whatever. I'm like, man, the Bengals could probably make the Super Bowl. Because I was like, I don't think they fear Tennessee by any means. And they've already proven that they can beat the Chiefs, right? And that first round against the Raiders, the Raiders shouldn't even have been there in the first place. They had weirdly enough the easiest path to get to the Super Bowl, considering they had to play the number 1 and 2 seed to get there. But they've already proven they can beat one of them, and the other one's not that good. And Derrick Henry's come back from injury, so for them. So I didn't believe it until I actually saw it. But when I saw it, I was like, I can't be surprised. Joe Burrow is that good. And look at what he did in 1 year. I think that was his second year at LSU. But that one magical year at LSU broke every damn record. Broke every damn record. All the boys, Edwards Hilaire, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, they all in the NFL right now.
Along with the defense too. Give the defenses props too. Patrick Queen, all of them.
Yeah, so it's Joe is like that, man. He's like that.
Joe's built differently. He's I don't get how he wasn't like his heart rate isn't low because I feel like he has no heart rate whenever I watch him play. He's just so calm and so cool. And then afterwards, he's not like super happy or anything. He's just like very collective all the time.
That's some Tom Brady shit.
It is. It's very Tom Brady-esque. I mean, it's too early to call, but
see, we're doing it. We're doing what I said I don't want to do. We're gonna compare everyone to Tom. I'm trying so hard not to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's what's been painted for us. That's our Monet that we have to look at and say that's very Monet-esque. It's got elements of something that Monet would do right there. So it's great, but this is the beginning of his legacy. There's never been a quarterback ever to win. What is it? They said a Heisman,
national championship, and Super Bowl.
Right. Never been done. Joe's put himself in there to do that. And if this happens, I feel like Cincinnati could be a destination place now. Because I thought that guy Trey Hendrickson was way overrated. I watched that man chase Mahomes down. I watched Trey chase him down, man, and get winded from it. Bro, and he got 2.5 sacks that game. Yeah.
That defense, you got to give them give them their flowers too. Because first half, they got gassed. That was just, you got blitz with everything that they had to offer. That second half was textbook clinic. That was beautiful to watch because I'm watching Patrick Mahomes in the pocket have so much time and nobody's open. They got a spy in the middle of the field. They got the down linemen coming after him, and they have the rest of the secondary covering everybody. I'm like, bro, what is he supposed to do? Nobody was open. It was like that was a textbook, gorgeous, beautiful defense. So
hey. Eli Apple looked like a first-round pick. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
been with 5 teams.
First-round pick.
He'd been with 5 teams, and he looked like a first-round pick finally. So I'm happy for them.
I hate Eli Apple though.
Oh, I do too. I can't stand it.
He's talking too much.
He went to Ohio State too, so he's trash, man. But let's go to the other game too, because we could stick on Joe Burrow all night. Jimmy G, man. Best I could do is Jimmy G for you. I mean, he did his best Jimmy G moment at the end. Good divisional game. All I can say is Matthew Stafford wants it, man. Like, you can definitely tell he wants it. And it's a crazy stat that same day was the day he was traded to the Rams.
365 days later, he was in Cabo just chilling, right? Just so happened that Sean McVay happened to be in Cabo, happened to be at the same hotel, and they linked up by the pool. And you know what happens at the pool? Hey, he might come back and follow you. And at least it wasn't a baby. He came back with a job. He came back with a new team, and a year later, he got his ass into the Super Bowl. After all these years of ineptitude in Detroit, now people understand how bad Detroit is. I want people to understand, as somebody who grew up in Detroit, why I'm not a Lions fan. Because I have Barry Sanders growing up, and to me, we talk about the greatest players of all time. To me, Barry Sanders is the greatest football player ever. Him, Deion Sanders, Tom Brady, and Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Those are like my 5, right? And I watched Barry Sanders do everything he can for the city of Detroit and could not do anything, so he retired. Calvin Johnson did everything he can for the city of Detroit, so he retired. Matthew Stafford did everything he can, and God bless him for not retiring, because look what happens when you just get a second breath. You get your team to a Super Bowl. And, for what it's worth, it wasn't like it was a cakewalk. Like he had to work his ass off to get into the situation. I mean, he had to beat Tom Brady. First of all, okay,
Hard. That's
he had to
very
beat
hard.
Tom Brady in Tampa. Like I looked at that crowd 7 years ago. That crowd would have been more mixed with different fans. This year, it was straight red in that Buck Stadium, and then he goes to the Rams game, which is a home game, but it's more 49er fans there. So he was on the road again. He was on the road again, basically, for a team that they won't embrace the Rams or the Chargers. And for him to
Whose house?
whose house? It didn't feel like the Rams' house. But for a team that Sean McVay was 0-6 again, he could not beat this team. For them to go and do what they did, you got to give them credit. Second note, Tom Brady wanted to go to San Francisco after he left New England. And he went on this shop. He said, "You keeping that mother effer over me?" The mother effer he was talking about with Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo is the definition of an average quarterback. I mean, it doesn't get more average than him. It doesn't get more average than him.
Jimmy Garoppolo will be a Buccaneer next year, and the baddest bitches in Tampa Bay will be in all the games. That's
man.
for sure, man.
Wasn't it
Kiera
and Mia?
They're gonna be there.
I see you, Jimmy G. Go get you these old girls. Hey, he'll get distracted down here. San Fran got a lot of expensive, rich people that do a lot of tech. Down here, he might
get real estate money. Get that real estate money.
Hey,
but
Jimmy.
Yeah, man. But it was definitely good to see Matthew Stafford on the other side now that he's winning. He looks rejuvenated. He looks like he's having fun. And I know I poo-poo on Odell all the time, bro, but I'm happy for him. I really am. I don't like the player.
We did the Josh Allen. We did the Josh Allen apology. Have you officially apologized to OBJ?
Yeah, I did it last episode.
Can you one more time for the fans? Can you please apologize to OBJ?
I'm sorry. You've been rejuvenated but I always said
9 catches, 113 yards. Jeez Louise.
Exactly. Both him and Cooper Kupp had over 100 yards.
11 catches, 142 yards for Cooper Kupp, 2 touchdowns.
But all I can say is I'm happy to see. All I wanted for Odell is to just be happy and play football. Because when he's happy, I don't care. It's when he's disgruntled and he's a distraction and brings down organizations. I can't stand that.
But check it out.
But no, hold on. Let me finish my thing. He's rejuvenated. He's having fun. He told me, okay, I told y'all, I'm part of that, y'all. And he's doing it.
I told y'all.
And Von Miller is forever one of my favorite defensive players. Von Miller is that dude. And they realized what they had to do. And Von Miller wreaks havoc, man. You penetrate one side with Donald, and if it's not working, you do the other side with Floyd. And either way, Von Miller's coming somewhere. It's like that Jurassic Park scene where he's there was 2 Raptors, and then all of a sudden,
converge.
But
how about this aspect? Okay, because you give OBJ a hard time for not being happy. How can he be happy with the last few years in New York? That team was a dumpster fire for the last. You gotta understand, bro. They won the Super Bowl in 2011 or 2012, whenever that was, and they haven't done shit since, except one playoff appearance where OBJ was in Miami on the boat, eating cheese puffs and stuff before going to the game and then dropping everything. But outside of that situation, they've been a dumpster fire. Then he goes to Cleveland, the dumpster fire of all dumpster fires organizationally for the last half a decade. So how can you expect this kid who came from LSU, came from a cool environment, just happy-go-lucky to these dumpster fire organizations? Of course he's going to be pissed off because no one is not everyone is equipped to deal with dumpster fire Giants and the dumpster fire Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield trash ass. The Giants couldn't let Eli Manning's active streak go on so they benched him and let Geno Smith come and play. Then they draft Daniel freaking Jones. Dumpster fire. Then the Browns, come on. So, of course, when you get into a situation where it's wow, this team cares about winning, they go and get players. Von Miller, Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive player probably ever. when it's all said and done, right? They have Matthew Stafford. They have a winning nucleus. Sean McVay, just watch that guy play. I mean, coach, he gets it. They got Andrew Whitworth, 40 years old, playing tackle. 40, but he's giving everything that he has. So that is an organization where, like, I'm not going to come here and act crazy.
I get that. Also, a young head coach, young atmosphere, all of that. I get that. Minus Stafford and Whitworth and like and Von Miller, but Von Miller definitely a fun dude. But I get that, and that's what I want from him. It's just that the way he gets his exit out, like, come get me then. You want me? Come get me then. Telling that on the field and the field goal kicking.
But that happens all the time.
No, but it's just
every player does it.
I know that, but it's just because he's so big, they bring it on to him, and you have to see that every day.
Like, why is everybody so mad he had the Rich and Billy the watches on? Like, why is everybody so pissed off about that?
Listen, man. My beef with Odell goes because he went to the Giants and not the Jets, and I just think like he's just a prima donna. He's just a big prima donna that cries all the time, and that's my
receiver.
But he's also. But I also like respect his game. I'm not saying I don't. I always say when he does good, I give him his flowers when they're due. And he needed to get out of Cleveland. We could see it. It's just like, it's Odell. My dad's gonna do this shit, prima donna shit. But when he goes,
that wasn't him. That was his pop.
We get it. We get it. Still, it's your pop. Still, we get it. You love the man. If he's an Eagle, you'll get the jersey. But all I'm saying is that he came to LA and it's rejuvenated. It's the Odell Beckham we were promised. Fun, loud on the field and doing what Odell does. Play the game that I love and get touchdowns and make everybody look good. Now he's in the Super Bowl and I'm super happy for him. I'm super happy for him. I'm more happy for Aaron Donald getting there, man. Like, I feel like that's a guy.
Keep in mind, they were just there a couple years ago.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I want him.
Everyone's so happy for the Rams. I'm like, bro, they were just there. They ran to Tom Brady. Again, he ran into Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Yeah. And all they had to offer at that point was Jared Goff. So I'm not happy for Aaron Donald. Like, this is his second crack at it, whatever. I'm more happy for OBJ, of course. Matthew Stafford, of course. But I'm actually happy, even though Cooper Kupp was there the last time, I'm happy for Cooper Kupp. That man is disrespected, bro. Like, for real. The amount of times, like, a lot of it is his footwork and people just can't keep up with him. But the amount of time that defenses disrespect him is I'm like, bro, at what point will y'all gonna start respecting the Triple Crown winner? He led the league in touchdowns, in passing yards. I mean, in receiving yards and in catches. How is it that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 42 seconds left on the clock let him get the two biggest catches of the game? How is it? The 49ers, who have a great defense, allow him to get 111 catches for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. How is he always like? I'm like, and like, it's not like it's force fed. Like Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers force feeds him. It's clear as day he force feeds him. All this Cooper Kupp stuff is Matt Stafford looking at the field like, damn, he's open again. Like,
and a good O-line, and a really good O-line.
He's open every single time. Like, they said, what's his name? Michael Thomas. I think his Instagram or Twitter handle is always open, or can't guard me, Mike, or some shit like that. Or always, some of these guys are always open 23 years or shit. That man, Cooper Kupp, the most disrespected player I've ever seen play football. And you too disrespect him. Oh, he's just a slot receiver. That man's not even a slot receiver.
Oh, no. Nope.
That's a grown-ass man, bro.
There's your one white buffaloes, and that's your one white buffalo right there.
That is a grown-ass man.
That guy, I like him too because he's humble and he's good at what he does, man. And it made me even bigger fan of him when I saw him do it to the Bucks. I was like, do it, boy.
Bro,
do it. I'm a fan of his.
6'2", 200 pounds. That's not no slot, no little 5'11" Wes Welker or Julian Edelman. That's a grown man playing receiver at a high level. He may not. People say, oh, he's not fast. Jerry Rice was not fast either. He didn't have a crazy 40 or anything like that. But he just, he
Jerry
ran
Rice.
amazing routes. So
Jerry Rice. So.
Yeah.
I got no beef with Cooper Kupp. I know I always say, like, I preach the wide receivers are always in the slot, but Cooper Kupp can line up anywhere. He's going to beat you, man. He runs routes beautifully. And I have to give him that. Is that he runs them right. He has hands. I mean, we've seen him drop a couple in the playoffs, which is very uncanny.
Yeah, that one that he dropped, he was looking at that end zone. It was wide open.
He was looking at the end zone. That's what he was looking at before.
Score this one.
And he gets separation. That's the big thing. Is like he's one of the best receivers that I see that gets separation. Because he's not going to go up there really and moss you. He's just going to get the separation and make you look dumb a lot. That's what I see out of him. And that's what I respect because what is he? He's 6'2". That's pretty big, but he doesn't play like a big receiver. He plays more just like run my route, and then I'm gonna get this guy away from me, and I'm there. I'm in the middle of the field. So
I want you to go just one day where you just have, you know how Real Buck Talk be on here, and he just watches film all day, right? Go on like YouTube and just go watch film. Jerry Rice, also 6'2", also 200 pounds. I mean, Jerry Rice and Cooper Kupp are exactly the same size and weight and probably ran the same exact 40. And what made Jerry Rice, his route running and his footwork was impeccable. Because at the end of the day, there are faster players than Jerry Rice. There are people like Randy Moss that can jump higher. There are people who can do all this athletic stuff. With Jerry Rice, no matter what, it's the same thing. How is this man always open? And I'm not saying Cooper Kupp is Jerry Rice because that's a big shoes to fill. But at 6'2", 200 pounds, the same thing as Jerry Rice, same speed as Jerry Rice, their route is route running. At the end of the day, in the NFL, you can overcome all, which is good. We, dumbass Philadelphia Eagles, drafted Jalen dumbass Rieger over Justin Jefferson because Jalen Rieger was fast. Justin Jefferson, on the other hand, is not as fast, but his route running is impeccable. And and that's what it takes. And the hands on top of Jalen Rieger got no hands. Oh God! You open up a can of worms, bro. Anyway, but yeah. So Cooper Kupp,
receivers and running backs are like there's A and B ones. There's route runners and footwork, and then there's ones that are just really speedy and can jump and moss you every time. There's different kinds. It's like running backs. There's ground and pound, and there's the ones that are athletic enough to catch and run. So you've got your different types of running backs, different receivers. But no, like. I got nothing against Cooper Kupp. Like he's top 3 for me, if not 2.
Don't disrespect that man.
I'm not. Trust me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm really happy to see, and I'm honestly truthful. But I'm honestly happy to see Odell Beckham Jr. doing what I've always wanted him to do. Wow, that's what I want. I'm happy for that. I am. Like I want to like the guy, but I just haven't in the past. I just don't like prima donna players, but. He's playing football. He's having fun. Like, do your dances, do all that shit. I don't care. Like, the whole locker room's in there. They're buying in on this. He's buying in on it. It's great. It's great to see them there. So we get to see Rams, the home team, once again, hosting the Super Bowl, and Cincinnati coming in. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. And I think our next episode, we can dissect that a little bit more.
We'll get into it on the next one. We'll really break it down. But it's going to be, it's not traditional. It's not like Chiefs Bucks, like everyone thought, or Chiefs Packers, like everyone thought, or Bills, Packers, or Bucks, like everyone thought. It's 2 4 seeds. They're both 4 seeds. One's a second-year quarterback, one's a 13-year quarterback who's never even had success in the playoffs before. So both number 1 picks overall. So it's gonna be a fun game. But we'll tackle that. We'll tackle that next week. But it's gonna be fun. But shout out to OBJ. Keep in mind, my favorite players are Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens. So clearly, guys like OBJ, I'm gonna like. It's just
I love Chad Johnson because I got a personal story why I love Chad Johnson. I met him and he's a good dude. When I used to work for Hyatt, I'll be quick about this. When I used to work for Hyatt, he used to play for the Patriots, and that's where all the visiting teams stay at in the NFL. Spoiler alert if you ever want to find out.
You're 1,000% right.
Yeah, so I was working one day and he came in with his girlfriend and I was serving him and he was like chopping it up with me and a couple of the guys that worked there and he was just like cracking jokes and shit. And I was like, damn, you had to sell out and go be a Patriot because you couldn't win in Cincinnati. He's like, man, you sound like a bitter Jets fan, don't you? I was like, it's funny you say that because I am. And we just started laughing and we started talking about like video games and shit like that. And and then he left to go to the game. I came to work the next day. He left me $100 voucher to go eat at Armani's upstairs. So he was a stand-up guy. So I got to give him props.
One of the first people, if not the first person that I followed on Twitter was Chad Johnson. I wasn't gonna make one, but I made
Mine too.
I made it in 2009 only because everyone was like, just do it. And I remember I was like, man, Chad Johnson got a Twitter. I'm gonna make sure I follow. That's gonna be my guy. So I've been following, like, that's before social media was even big like that. So I basically feel like I know him personally because I've been following him so personally since then. It's just, he's I used to play that's why, like, this whole Bengal thing being good. Back in the day when I used to play Madden, I only played with the Eagles or the Bengals because I wanted to play with Chad and Hushmanzada and all them boys. I just really love Chad Johnson a lot. So it was just, Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, those are like my guys. So I always root for the OBJs of the world. It's just
it's funny. I don't like prima donnas, but I do like Chad Johnson though. Chad Johnson just got that swag, I think. He's from Miami. So
he's just funny as shit. That's why.
He's very funny. All right, let's go NBA talk now. So there's a lot of two of the best players, the top two points per game leaders in the NBA. I mean, there's Embiid too, but he's healthy. But A and B, LeBron and KD are both hurt for an extensive period amount of time. KD probably won't be playing in the All-Star game. Wouldn't be surprised if LeBron doesn't play either. Yeah. So it's impacting their teams. It's been impacting the Lakers all season. And now the Nets are on a 5-game losing streak. So what do you think is the best way to rectify this for both teams? I mean, we've been saying all year the Lakers are like, they're lucky to get in the play-in spot if they can.
They'll get the play-in spot because the teams below them are so trash. Because right now, who would have thought February will be in the beginning of February? We talking about the Lakers are a 9 seed, but that is the fact. They are a 9 seed. Luckily for them, because of the play, LeBron last year was like, man, whoever came up with the play-in tournament was stupid. This year, whoever came with the play-in tournament is going to help them getting at least a chance. Because right now they're a 9 seed, and with LeBron's knee injury, I mean, they can't beat Atlanta with Russ and AD. They can't be nobody. They suck that bad. Like, it's really crazy. Like, Tom Brady, he's getting all his flowers this week because he's retiring. I really do hope LeBron gets this close to, if not the same amount of flowers, because what he's doing is unprecedented too. Like, Tom Brady played to year 23 or 22, whatever it was. That's a lot of time, right? 44 years old. LeBron is 37 and is second in the league in scoring by a couple of decimal points. And if it's not for him, that team has no shot with Russell Westbrook, with Anthony Davis. Like, it's really impressive what he's been able to do for them when he's playing. The fact that he's hurt right now, it don't look good. To me, their situation is way worse than Brooklyn's situation. I know Brooklyn hasn't really looked that good lately, but the thing with Brooklyn is that for whatever it's worth, James Harden and Kyrie Irving, for that team, especially having Patty Mills, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, they got some things going for them. With just those two and the rest of their cast, they're a little bit better than always hurt Anthony Davis, always confuse Russell Westbrook, and a bunch of guys who are like, Melo might be great a couple of days, and then they'll leave him on the bench, and we'll hear from him. DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard are like fossils, and they're old. Trevor Ariza is old.
I don't know what that was
about to get traded. Malik Monk is the third best player. It's just this whole situation with the boys in LA is dire. It's not looking too good. They're so far down the standings right now because, like, by the time LeBron is healthy, they're still going to be a 9 seed. By the time KD is healthy, they'll still be a top 6 seed, in my opinion. So they lost 5 in a row. That's crazy. But yeah, it's KD and LeBron. I think it's clear as day now. They are still the 2 best players in the league. They mean that much to their teams. I think Giannis and Embiid are right there. Steph Curry is right there. Jokic is right there. But the impact that LeBron and KD have on their team
Yeah.
is bananas right now. But it doesn't
Well,
look
even
good
if,
for either of them. But I'd much rather be Brooklyn right now than the Lakers.
yeah, I would too. I feel like I know the East is tough again, but the Lakers are just too far down, and they've been so inconsistent all year, and it's no fun to see LeBron like on a losing side of things. And the last two seasons have just been hard as a if you're a LeBron fan to see him go out like that. So, and it's the product they put on there. They just put household names on the team, but they're outdated household names. So it's like, yeah, we got like a new Samsung TV, but it's like 6 models ago. Like Dwight Howard ain't the same Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
AD AD should be A-okay, but like AD is literally becoming Mr. Glass. Something's wrong with him all the time, man. And then Russ doing the same thing Russ would do all the time, but Russ just ain't fitting
Russ is
in.
gonna Russ. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna Russ.
Yeah, exactly. Russ just isn't fitting in with the style of play that they do.
You
And
could
I
have
think that
had
was
you
the
with DeMar
biggest mistake.
DeRozan. You could have had you with Buddy Hield. It was right there for him.
It's just nice. It's like a nice pickup. It looks good on paper, but it doesn't mesh well with what LeBron does. And I'm sure LeBron thought he could, kind of tame the beast a little bit, and it's not working out. And like this,
KD couldn't do it. James Harden couldn't do it. Bradley Beal couldn't do it. And you always, all right, if anybody can do it, at least King James can do it. LeBron
yeah,
can't do
it
it.
can't do it, man. The guy's uncoachable, and he's gonna play the way he plays, man. So it sucks to see that. But on a positive note, let's jump into a team that's like super super hot, super super complete. Is the Phoenix Suns, man? Like I said that that they were gonna fall off beginning of the season. I said they're
We
not
were
gonna
wrong.
be
I said we were very wrong about the Suns.
yeah.
Because we asked, like, are they going to make it back to the finals? I was like, hell no. The Lakers are going to be good. Golden State going to be good. The Clippers, bro, them boys is good. Complete.
They're good.
Complete.
They're a complete young team too. That's the good part is they're very young, and they draft well, and they put the right pieces on the floor.
And they're led like this is what to me the Lakers should have done a couple years ago when they had Lonzo's and Kuzma's and all that stuff. Like all they needed was a guy at the helm to bring it all together. There's nobody on that past Lakers team who's as good as Devin Booker, so I get it. But all they needed was a Chris Paul, because Devin Booker to me is that dude, right? You got a Devin Booker, you got DeAndre Ayton, you got Bridges, you got Johnson, you got Crowder, you got very good nucleus. But what brings that whole ship together? Chris Paul. Chris Paul. We talk so much about year 19 LeBron. Nobody talks about year 18 Chris Paul. Chris Paul is phenomenal. Like he's not getting the respect that he deserves, in my opinion. He's gonna be an all-star. He should be an all-star again this year.
He better be an all-star. He better be an all-star.
He's ridiculous.
He's not going to get you 20, 25, 26 a game anymore, but he's going to get you 10 dimes a game every time.
No matter what.
Yeah. Huh?
No matter what, he gonna get you them dimes. No matter what, in the fourth quarter, he gonna close you out if he needs to. Like he's ridiculous. Like he's stupid. How good he is crazy. Like to have him, he's averaging 15 points, 10.4 assists. I mean that's point guard. That's what a point guard does. Give me 15 to 8. Give me like 15 to 18 points and 10 assists. Don't turn the ball over a lot. Get me a few steals and make sure my superstars are playing to the best of their ability. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker. Make sure your superstars are playing to the best of their ability. You have a team. That is literally John Stockton. For 20 years, I'm going to get you 18 points. I'm going to get you 12, 13 assists. And Karl Malone is going to be second all-time in scoring.
I don't think John Stockton has 18 points ever in his career.
He did.
I don't think so, man. But John Stockton was a prolific scorer, man. He was like 15 a game, I want to say.
Nah, bro. He for a career, he averaged 13. For a career.
Yeah.
However, during that career, he
17
had
is the highest he ever averaged.
14, 17, 17, 17, 15. Exactly. That's what I've said. Give me 15 to 18 points.
Yeah, but look how many assists he had every game. 14. 14, 13, 12, 11.
14, 12. Exactly. That is a point guard. Get me 15 to 18 points, get me 10 plus assists, and don't turn the ball over. And make sure my star player eats. Karl Malone, second all-time in scoring. I mean, that's all you have to know. Karl Malone, of all players, is second all-time in scoring. Soon to be passed by LeBron James, but it's incredible what Chris Paul's still doing.
But you have to give the credit because, like, one, they drafted all these guys pretty similar to get like around the same times. They're all pretty young. They gel well. They all know their roles. Like at any point, somebody could leapfrog and be really good or get traded and be pretty good on a team that they go to. But they all stay. They buy into what they're supposed to do. And then you realize, fuck, we're missing one thing. We did that bubble run where we won 14 games straight.
Bubble, they won eight in a row, almost
8 in a row.
Almost got it to the playoffs.
Yeah. And then it all happened the next year. So what did we need? We needed Chris Paul. So they went and got Chris Paul, and there you go. The rest is history. Chris Paul is literally, I've always said, the glue to a team. Anywhere he goes and he touches, it becomes gold. It becomes a good team.
It should have been Golden State back in 2018.
Should have been Golden State. Exactly. Should have been Golden State. But he made the Clippers. He made the Clippers a cool organization again. He brought life back to the Rockets for one season. He did the impossible in Oklahoma City where it said it couldn't be done. And then look what he does now.
Point God.
He is, man. You gotta give him credit, man. You really have to give him credit. So I'm always been a big Chris Paul fan. But also trade deadline is around the corner. And now we're getting some teasers of Ben Simmons maybe for the Wizards is what your boy wants to do. Buy or sell, I guess.
Man, this situation. First, we just lost to the Wizards. Horrible loss. They're coming off of a back-to-back. Should have lost to the Wizards anyway. So that sucks. So all this talk about us trading with the Wizards, we just lost them by 3 points. But listen, Tyrese Maxey has been a godsend. I love him. So we don't really need to go out there and go get a point guard. We got Tyrese Maxey and we got Joel Embiid, the MVP, right? Tobias Harris, he'll give us some really good minutes. He plays well when he wants to. So I don't really hate him. I just don't like him getting that much money for his production, based on his production. If we can go get a Bradley Beal, listen, that would be fantastic. Am I buying or selling that's going to happen? Daryl Morey is so damn stubborn. I don't know. Like, I think he's dug in on trying to get James Harden, which I would hate for our basketball team because I don't think James Harden brings winning. He brings ability and stats, but does he bring winning? These are two completely different things. I can take ability and stats all day. That's cool. If I was a team that didn't have real aspirations to win a championship. Joel Embiid, where he's at in his career, has a real chance to win a championship while he's still healthy. And nobody's helping him do that right now. You got to understand, because we lost, we're now a game and a half or 2 games out of first place now. But that's without Ben Simmons. We did all this without Ben Simmons. Okay.
That's good.
So can you just imagine if we had a real number 2 on the court that's not scared to shoot the ball, and if Trae Young was guarding him, who's a foot shorter than him, not scared to dunk on Trae Young? Can you just imagine, right? So I'm loving everything that we're doing right now as an organization, as a team. I would love for Ben Simmons to be off of the team. Shaq said it the other day. Shaq calls out Joel Embiid. That man. Shaq calls out Joel Embiid all the time. And Joel Embiid takes it, absorbs it, takes it all in, and it's coming back with, last year he was runner-up for MVP. This year, if he plays the whole season, he's going to be the MVP, okay? Ben Simmons gets criticized. Man, I don't feel like playing. I'm so sad. Everyone hates me. I'm scared. I don't want to shoot. I'm so scared. Bro, go see a mental health doctor and figure this out. Stop crying that you're getting criticized. Like, it's really depressing that I have to watch this man go through this. But at the same time, I take mental health seriously. I don't want to be the guy that says, rub some dirt on it and just man up, right? But, bro, at some point, take accountability for your actions. this is on you. I mean, when no one's blaming you for losing, but there are key moments in the basketball game that has your name written all over it, and that is the problem. And he's all these young Gen Zers don't want to take accountability anymore. They just cry. You don't want me. I'm so sad. I don't want to play. I'm gonna hold out. Okay, Brent, hold out. Just stop talking. And so
Yeah.
I hate Darren Morey pisses me off for not trading him, and then Ben Simmons pisses me off for being such a damn baby. So buy or sell, I don't really know. I just hope that we remember my New Year's resolution. I just want to get this Ben Simmons thing rectified. That's all. I don't care about none of this anymore. Go get Bradley Beal. If you can't go get Halliburton. Go get a washing machine. I don't care. I just don't want this cloud hanging over this team anymore because Joel Embiid is too damn good for us to be wasting his prime, and we're wasting that man's prime. And in my rant.
I agree with you.
Why do I want to play me? Why you be so mean? Why? I'm so sad.
You gotta say it with an Australian accent though. Oi, mate.
Oi, mate.
Hey,
I'm so sad, mate.
I want to go to Sacramento.
I'm gonna go to the Bay Area. Oh, I'm so sad. Rich Paul, come save me. LeBron, save me. Somebody save me. Like, bro, shut up. Yeah. Now you see how I feel, bro.
I know. No. I know that pain, man. I get that. I get the holding
crazy,
hostage,
bro.
he's literally being held hostage by Daryl Morey, and Daryl Morey won't move unless it's James Harden or Bradley Beal. That's all he's moving for.
Daryl Morey is a punk.
He's a punk, but if he pulls it through, you're gonna like love him. I know you will.
I don't want James Harden though. That's the problem.
If James Harden wins you a championship, would you be happy?
He can't win us a championship. We don't need another ball dominant kind of player. We need a 3-and-D or somebody who catch and shoot. We already have Maxey to bring the ball up. Tobias can play a little guard. We got Shake Milton can play point guard, right? Then we got Seth Curry on the wing. We got Matisse Thybulle on the wing playing 3-and-D. We got all these pieces that can do all these different things. All we need is somebody like what Kobe did for Shaq. That's all we need. We need the Kobe to our Shaq. Obviously, not the same caliber of player, but we need the Kobe to our Shaq. Joel Embiid is our Shaq. Huh?
Bradley Beal would be it?
Bradley Beal is more Kobe than ball dominant, step back, ball dominant. Let me go create a foul. No. I need somebody who, quite frankly, I don't really care for Bradley Beal right now either. I want somebody who wants to go out there. Like, we have Booker, right? That's the Kobe Bryant to my Shaq. Go give me a Booker. That's what I want. But
you're not getting Booker, though.
We're not getting him. So Bradley Beal is the next best thing. Because Bradley Beal has proven that he can play off the ball. I just need somebody who can play off the ball.
If the Suns move if the Suns move Devin Booker and take like everything I just said in the segment about him, that's exactly what I would do. All right, let's wrap up the show. Was it 2 weeks ago we gave you our all-star starters? So they're going to be announcing them is it tonight? Or
tomorrow. Thursday. Tomorrow. Well, today's Wednesday, so Thursday, February 3rd, by 7 p.m. on TNT, it will be announced. So hopefully listening to this before, if you're listening to this after, just see if we got it right. That's all.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to give our list of our reserves, East and West. So you want to go first? All right. So I got 2 asterisks on there too, because I'm assuming both captains are going to be injured and head coaches. So first one I got Jason Tatum.
So all right, you're doing East. Okay, cool.
Okay. Next on the East, I got Zach LaVine. Third, I got Bradley Beal. Fourth, I got James Harden. Fifth, I got first-timer Fred VanVleet. Sixth, I got first-timer Darius Garland. And the last one I got is Jaylen Brown. And now my asterisk to sub in now. Oh, it hurts for me to say this. I had to go back and forth and look, but I'm going to put LaMelo Ball there.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather Tyler Hero, though. But LaMelo Ball.
Tyler Hero. Cute. All right. That's your East.
Mhm.
All right. So my list for the East, for certains. How many is 7 or 8? It's 8 with the asterisk, right?
The asterisk is 8, yes.
The asterisk is 8. Okay, number 1, Jason Tatum. No qualms about it. Number 2, Zach LaVine. No qualms about it. Number 3, James Harden. No qualms about it, right? That's 3. Number 4, Jimmy Butler. No qualms about it. Okay. Now we start getting a little tricky. I'm at 4 now. Number 5, you got to give. I'm gonna go Darius Garland. I think Cleveland, as a surprise team, he's been the best player for that team. I got to credit him for being the best player on the team. So he's gonna be number 5, right? So I got to give you a couple more because LaMelo Ball is gonna be 6. LaMelo Ball is gonna be 6. He's got his team in position, to be great. And I'm gonna give it to Fred VanVleet over Jaylen Brown because I'm actually very impressed with what Toronto has accomplished this year based on how horrible they were last year. Wait, did I say Chris Middleton?
No.
Damn.
This is a lot. It was hard.
All
I
right,
sat there and I looked.
Give me Chris Middleton. Simply because man. Yeah, give me Chris Middleton. Give me Chris Middleton. Look how good the East is all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Am I done?
I mean, is that your asterisk? Is Chris Middleton?
Was it? I thought that was 8. If not, then Van Fleet's is my asterisk then.
That's your asterisk.
All right, perfect. That works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So for my West, I got Luka Doncic. I got Donovan Mitchell. I got Rudy Gobert. I have Devin Booker. I have Chris Paul. I have Karl Anthony Towns. And I have Anthony Edwards. And now for my asterisk, I got De'Aaron Fox.
Really? Swiper the Fox?
He's got some numbers. Look at his numbers.
Kings are horrible. I cannot put him in my all-star.
But his numbers are high. He's got high numbers.
Hey, screw the numbers. I'm gonna make this simple for you.
If it wasn't De'Aaron Fox, it would be Murray would be my other one.
DeJounte Murray?
Mm-hmm.
Better. See, that's better. All right.
Yeah. I just went with that because
even though they're 19 and 33 as well, but they're both horrible. All right.
He's having a career year, and I like that about him.
All right. So 2 off the rip from the number 1 seed, Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Is very disrespectful that both of them one of them was not a starter. But definitely off the rip, Devin Booker and Chris Paul. From the Utah Jazz, I got Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is averaging like 15 rebounds a game. I'm sorry, that's 16 to 15 and like 3 blocks. You're having a pretty good year. I don't care, bro. You gotta put in those. So that's 4. That's 4 right there. Karl Anthony Towns. I actually want him to be a starter over Andrew Wiggins, but hey, that's my. I can't. No, we haven't even spoken about that. Andrew Wiggins Can we take a quick pause? How is Andrew Wiggins an all-star starter? People, I want y'all to go. Oh my God. I wish we had more time because we're running over on time right now. Next week, I will come back and say it. How the hell is Andrew Wiggins a damn starter, averaging 18 and 4 and 2, and hasn't done? I gave you 5, right? Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell.
5, we got 5.
Luka Doncic.
6.
Wait, is that? No, that makes it 5.
No, it's 6.
D-Book, Chris Paul. Oh, Cat. You're right, Cat. So yeah, Karl Anthony Towns and Luka Doncic makes it 6.
I got my numbers going right here, bro.
Okay. So then you look at the standings. I'm like, who else is deserving, right? I mean, the Clippers suck. The Lakers, Anthony Davis hasn't played enough. Portland hasn't played it like Donovan Mitchell. I mean, not Donovan Mitchell. Dame hasn't played enough. So Minnesota, I got to give them Anthony Edwards probably. And then I look at who else is ranked. The Grizzlies are the 3rd seed, and we're only going to give them one. Are we only going to give them one player? So let me look at that. I look at that roster. I'm like, all right, who's been playing the best on that roster?
Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane is looking like most improved player. I mean, I think it'll be a travesty if I can't get another Memphis player on this roster. So, what number would that be? 7 or 8?
That'd be your asterisk.
That would be my asterisk. Yeah, if that's gonna be my asterisk, I would love to get probably Desmond Bane on here as my my asterisk. You got to get another Memphis Grizzly on here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you said who? DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray is having a fantastic season, but it's hard for me to reward 19-33 as your record. So Desmond Bane is giving me. Let's see how many points a game Desmond Bane is giving.
17 and 17.
He's giving me. Oh shit, Dylan Brooks is giving me 18, but he's hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gotta give me. Yeah. Give me Desmond Bane. Yeah. Oh, he 18. Yeah, 18. Yeah, Desmond Bane. He my asterisk. Throw that man in there. Over DeJounte Murray. I mean, you can't be 3rd seed and get only one guy in there. That's why Chris Middleton had to be in mine. So yeah, give me Desmond Bane as my asterisk.
Yeah, I got no beef with that.
Yeah.
So all right, man. I mean, that's the show, I guess. So that's what we got.
Tom Brady, man, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, man. So you know where to find us on Twitter at @fair_weatherpod. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Fairweather Podcast, and wherever you subscribe to podcasts too, that's where you can find and listen to our audio.
Tom, we love you, except for him. I love you. LeBron, please get back healthy. And B, please stay healthy. What else? Brian Flores, Godspeed, good luck. Next week, we're going to give y'all the whole Super Bowl breakdown. Don't worry, we're going to kill it for y'all.
Tom, let me just say this before we say it. Tom, it's not that I don't hate, like I hate you. I do. I thank you for everything you did for the NFL, man. But yo, we got it from here, bro. Go enjoy yourself. Let me see you outside the NFL, and I'll change my perception.
Hey, he said Lamar Jackson got next. So
he did say that.
He said it. He said, Lamar, you're next. All right, cool. All right.
Exactly. We're
gonna see.
I like that.
All right, y'all. Peace.